children, baby. Let me teach you. Get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst. And watch it all psychology black on firm, but we ain't all black.
Hey, what's going on tonight, you guys? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Real Talk Live with your girl, Constance Carter. And I am so excited to be here with you. And as everybody is logging on, I see you, see me, I see you. I want to know, you guys, the numbers are just rising and rising and rising and rising. Yes, come on in and make yourself at home. And while you're here, I want you to tell us where you are from. What's up, Romel? See, he already know. Ramel, he kicks it with us. He already know. Where are you from? Ramel said he is from Chicago. Thank you for sharing this, Ramel. And I appreciate that. I didn't even have to ask. Oh, that Ramel's a young lady. I'm sorry. So where are you hailing from? Where are you watching from? I want to know. This is an interactive discussion. Okay, so anytime I come on live here, it is not a monologue. It is a dialogue. So we are going to talk together about this. Any subject, any particular subject. What's up, Tiffany from Mobile, Alabama? Hey, Jonetta. Who was that? Sperlin Edwards from Connecticut. What's up, Miss Delia from Los Angeles? And I know we have people that are from all over the world. We have people that watch from France. We have people that watch from South Africa. We got people that watch from Mississippi. We got people that watch all the way from Australia. From the ends of the earth, they come on here to watch us and hang out with us. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on here every night. Actually, there are thousands of people logging on and they want to have a discussion. So listen, again, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. I want you to chime in and talk to us, talk back to us, talk black to us, because we are on the Fly Nubian Queen Network, the network for melanated people just like you, just like me. If you are on Facebook, make sure that you are liking and sharing this information. So on Facebook, make sure you follow Fly Nubian Queen, the page. Also follow Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter. Nobody works harder than Constance Carter. Hey, nobody works harder than Constance Carter. Nobody works harder than Constance Carter. Okay, make sure you follow my page, Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter, on Facebook and on YouTube. So go over to YouTube. If you're on Facebook, I'm gonna give you a second. Go over to YouTube, and I want you to make sure you're liking our page, you're sharing, you're hitting thumbs up, but you're also subscribing to Fly Nubian Queen on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to Nobody Works Harder Than Constance Carter on YouTube, and follow me on IG on I Am Constance Carter. All right. Now, also, you guys, I want to make sure that you understand and that you know I do a VIP session, a Q&A every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where I answer all your questions, all of those juicy questions that you have. If you have questions about business, if you have questions about love, I even bring some of my guests on to answer questions, one-on-one questions with you. And it's all live. And guess what? I partner with Dr. Boyce Watkins to be able to bring this information to you. And the first month is free. I do coaching. I do own one of the largest I own the largest African-American owned real estate firm in California. I'm also a best-selling author. I own several businesses, and I coach people, and I coach them for $2,000 per month. But for this particular partnership that I have with Dr. Boyce, this is a Q&A session that I do for, I think, $59 a month, and the first month is free. So you guys, if you guys want to learn all about anything that I do, how to write a book, how to get your credit right, how to start a business, go ahead and go to ConstanceCarterVIP.com and make sure that you sign up over there. You subscribe to that page, and so that we can get started. So, okay, you know this is a tantalizing subject, right? Y'all know this is a tantalizing subject. How many of you think that religion is important in a relationship? What's up, Ronnie? How many of you think that religion is important in a relationship? Is religion important to you? Is religion a factor for you? Oh, you like my beat tone? That's what's up. Is religion important? Like, is that the core? I love that pic on the side of you. Oh, that's Miss Erica Badu. You like that? So I have her in several places because I think she's a beautiful, beautiful lady. I have her in several of my rooms in the house. But is religion an important factor? Can an atheist be with a Christian? Can a Christian be married to a Muslim and have a successful relationship? Can a Buddhist be married to a Christian or a Muslim or somebody that is of the Hindu faith? Can these things work? And can they work for the long term? What are your thoughts? Kimmy Rochelle, she said, Kimmy said, a Muslim can't be married to an atheist. Blessed One said, very important in a relationship because they can't be unequally yoked. He said, not me. Loud Green said, not to me, but I am an atheist. Let's see. Kimberly said no. Brianna said it is important. Miss Knowles, she's from St. Lucia. What's up? Tone 360, he said it's hard, but it can work. Lee said religion is not a factor. And Ronnie said, no, ma'am, I cannot be married to an atheist if I am a person of faith. Well, I have a special guest that's coming on here tonight that's going to say, the Bible says that crystal clear that they cannot be married to a non-Christian. So I have some folks that are going to come here tonight and we're going to actually talk about it. We're going to talk about two people from two totally different belief systems, and they're actually married. We're going to see if their marriage was able to last. So let's bring on the Cranies, Mr. Charles. Let's bring on Essence and Brian Craney to the broadcast. There they are. What's up, Miss Essence and Mr. Brian Craney? How y'all doing tonight?
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Okay, cool. So thank you for joining us. And thank you for being so transparent, because a lot of times people don't really want to talk religion. And it's not the most comfortable, subject matter for folks to talk about, because it's something that's very personal and it's very private. You know, what you do personally is really all on you. But can you tell us how long you guys have been married?
15, almost 16 years.
So you've been married almost 16 years. And how long have you been together?
21.
You've been together 21 years. You've been married 16 years. And so, Essence, what's your belief system?
I don't have one.
I love it. I mean, I don't love it, but okay. And Brian, what's your belief system?
I believe, Bible, Christianity. That's what I was brought up.
Okay. So Essence is a non-believer. Essence is what you're not agnostic, because you don't believe in nothing. You don't believe in like there is some kind of spirit out there. You don't believe in nothing. You like it's nothing.
No, I don't believe in anything.
So Essence doesn't believe in anything. And Brian is a traditional Christian. He was brought up as a Christian. But Essence, you were brought up as a Christian as well.
I was. Yep.
So what happened to make you lose your faith?
I don't know that anything specifically happened. I just wasn't getting the answers I was looking for. Things didn't work for me. The timeline, some of the morals I aligned with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you do good, right? Do right by people, you do good. That I can align with.
Right.
The stories did not align well with me.
So you think that they're like fairy tales, or you think that like they're made up?
For me,
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then what about you? But when you guys first got together, you were a Christian, Essence?
I was. Yeah, I was. I'll say I was kind of on the border at this point. I was older, right? I can make my own decisions. I can decide if I want to go to church or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I had decided I didn't want to. But he was into church really heavy at the time. So I said, all right, well, I'll go and give it a shot, and tried it out, did Bible studies and, Sundays. I don't think we did any Wednesdays, but I tried it again.
Uh-huh. So Brian, when she came to you and said, I don't believe, was this a process, or was this like just over? You were. I know this had to be a process in your mind, right? Essence, you had to been toiling with this for a while. You didn't just make the decision. I don't want to be a Christian no more. I don't believe anymore, right? But did you tell him? When you tell him, was it kind of abrupt, or did he know you were kind of wrestling with your faith?
I think he knew.
I mean, I knew to a certain extent. But then when we got older, we had more in-depth conversations about it. And then it kind of kicked in from there. It wasn't like something that she just came out and said. I don't remember exactly how it came out, but it did come out, and I was like, oh, okay.
So how did that make you feel?
I'll say this. Based off of when we had the conversation, I wasn't mad. I wasn't like, oh, you should, because I kind of have my own situations with it.
Were you
But
disappointed?
I wouldn't say that I was disappointed, because I just like I said, I had my own situations with the church and Bible and all that kind of stuff. And when my questions kind of didn't get answered, I kind of understood it. Do I still believe in God? Yeah, I do.
So how are you still a believer? And so okay, let me ask you this. Do you believe the basic fundamentals of the Bible about heaven, hell, all of those things?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So do you think that your wife is going to go to hell because she's not a believer? I don't like to look at your face.
I ain't thought about that, but I guess so. I mean,
It's gonna keep you up at night now.
yeah,
Don't keep you up at night.
no, I'm gonna go to sleep. I mean, because I don't know what to say if she goes to hell. If you ain't up there, hey, I'm hoping I'm up there.
Right.
But I can't. It's kind of weird on trying to explain that situation. Am I scared of it for the simple fact because when we first got together, I was in the church heavy. I still believe in God. I don't push it on her. She's went to church with me multiple times over the years. It didn't click for her. I apologize if this don't seem right. It stopped kind of clicking for me too. Not based off of her, but just based off of a lot of information that I was getting. So, yeah. I did some research, but I probably did baby research. I ain't gonna tell you that I did a gang of research and oh my God, I went to 50 million books. No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was just more or less what I, kind of encountered over the years. But yeah.
So you have some issues with your faith as well, but you still considered yourself Christianity. Zippa Abia said he's no believer, he's fake. They are both heathens. Both y'all heathens, Brian and Essence.
Tell them thank you.
I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anyone, which is why Constance gave the caveat of thanking me for being here, because it's a hard subject for some people to digest. I get it. And
I apologize. Actually, I don't. What I believe in. If you want to call me a heathen because your God didn't convince me, that is your fault. I mean, they're your problem.
Not your problem. Yeah. And first of all, they're not heathens. I know them personally, and they're not heathens, first of all. And what you're not going to do is you're not going to attack my friends. And the fact that, a lot of atheists that I know are so angry. They're so combative. And the thing that I love about you, Essence, is so let me just tell you guys, Essence and Brian are personal friends of mine, right? I knew him for years. I had no idea that Essence was an atheist. And we were at my house in this very room, I think shooting pool or something, right? Because Brian is a hustler. Like he hustles people in pool. He tries to play you at one time and then, do bad the first time. Then you put money on the table and then, he takes your money. He's that kind of hustler. So we were in this room and Essence said something I can't remember what you said, but you said you were an atheist. What was my reaction, Essence? What was my reaction?
The pearls.
I was looking for the lightning to strike. I was so scared. I had never met a Black atheist in real life in my life. Now I've met people who believe different things and had different faiths, but she said, no, I don't believe anything. I don't believe nothing. I don't believe in spirituality. I don't believe in the universe. I think when I die, nothing happens. And so it was just it was also fascinating because I'm a believer. So it was fascinating But I was also scared, like, oh my God. And you know, the way we're raised like, oh my, you know, if you don't do a certain thing a certain way, you're gonna go to hell. And you know, that's just kind of something that's been ingrained in you. And whether things look a little off for you or not, biblically speaking, you still, because we were scared, we were, you know, they placed a fear of us into believing, you still going, you know, that little bit of belief you're going to have because you don't want to go to hell. And so for you to take that bold step, I'll say, to say, you know what, I don't believe in anything, and not be so brazen about it and so combative. Because I'm telling you, I've met other atheists and I've never met a Black woman atheist, I'll tell you that. But I met other atheists and they've been very combative about their beliefs. They don't, you know, they try to tear you down. They try to, you know, prove you wrong. They try to battle you. And for the fact that you don't do that, I can totally respect that. You know,
I appreciate that. I don't know. I don't understand, and I can't explain why other people would even be angry or try to discredit someone else's beliefs or ideas. That doesn't make sense to me. No one is battling you to convince you to be a Christian, right? People tell me all the time when they hear, "I'm gonna pray for you." Okay, I welcome it. You know, if it works, it works. I'm not gonna say don't do that. Or some people say, "Oh, I don't want your energy over me." I don't understand. I imagine you're saying it because you mean it, and I welcome it.
And she's a good person, so it's not like she's worshiping the devil. You don't believe in the devil, like it's not like you.
I don't believe in ghosts. I don't.
Girl, you don't be up in the room scared or be at the house by yourself kind of scared. That's ghosts. I believe in ghosts.
I mean, I feel like it's probably my dog running around downstairs. That's nope.
So somebody said in the comments, which I thought is a great question, how are you raising your kids?
Oh, well, I let them make that decision, right? So initially we were in church, and then I'm not a good person. We gotta go to lunch. They think I'm not a good person. Y'all buy your brunch on Sundays.
No. We can't buy the heathens brunch. No.
Okay. So I let the girls choose because we have 3 daughters. They choose, right? So at one point they went to a Buddhist church with a friend. They've gone, of course, to Baptist churches with us. I think they went to a Muslim ceremony.
I think so.
I know they went to a Korean church.
Yeah, they went to a Korean church
for a while.
Wow. And we basically, at that time, I'm not gonna lie to you, when we had them, I was in the church, I was going, she would come every once in a while. I would take the kids, they would go on their own classes doing stuff, and they'll come back and add some stuff. But we didn't, I didn't push it down their throats. Just like I told you, because I was having my own things. Our family is pretty cool, you know. Kids is not crazy. They not run around here want to be a serial killer. They treat people right.
Yeah.
You know, we do have conversations about the Bible, God, stuff like that. So they ask questions.
So when you have those conversations about the Bible, about God and the Bible, what do you just kind of stay out the conversation? And do you stay out the conversation? Do you contribute to it at all, Essence?
I do. I think I kind of converted them unknowingly, right? I felt like I gave them the opportunity to make the decisions on their own, and try out other churches or religions, and they decided they don't believe in God either. And so
I don't know about all 3, but probably 1 or 2 of them do.
Well, let's ask. Devin, do you believe in God?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
The youngest doesn't. The oldest doesn't. The middle one, I don't think so either.
So we're gonna have to take marriage between Devin and my son off the table.
But she's a good person.
You know you want it to happen still.
You get along with her family. That's what counts. Who you want at the table at Thanksgiving.
Right. That's true. But and so you said you think you converted them to non-believers inadvertently?
I think so.
Basically not. Hey.
Yeah.
Not going.
I think the fact that we didn't go as often as we let them go to other churches, that kind of took them away from the religion aspect of it.
And do you so for you, Brian?
Yes.
Being that none of your girls are believers and you still believe in heaven or hell, does that worry you at all?
I'm gonna go with another answer. Is I haven't thought about it.
You hadn't thought about it?
I haven't thought about it because of the things lately. If you would have called me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'd have had a different answer. I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's gonna, Now it's like the whole Christianity thing is really, really aren't even,
Well, I have a question.
Believing in the heaven and the hell. That's a big problem.
If I had not put forth the effort of attending church and being spiritual or religious, would you continue the relationship?
I can't say I don't, yes or no. I don't know. Because at that time we were very young.
So are you saying in the beginning, had she not faked the funk and acted like she liked Christianity, would you have still been with her? Did she trap you by saying she was a Christian in the beginning and then hit you with a switch?
She never said she was a Christian in the beginning. No, she never put that out there. She did tell me that she did go to church. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, I go to church. Come on, let's go. And she was like, all right, cool. If she would have said no, it probably would at that time made a big difference. But because she actually tried, you know what I mean, to do some of the things, then that made it the situation better. She didn't just be like, no, deuces, I ain't doing all that.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing, can you guys see me? Because it looks like my picture is frozen. Is my
picture
it is. But you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I think the thing that I'm seeing just from the outside looking in is the level of respect that you guys have for one another's beliefs, right? Your beliefs are personal to you, Brian. But it also sounds like you're kind of teetering in where you are. Now, you used to be, I think you used to be like a youth pastor or something like that.
No, I was into the whole youth setup because of my.
You were a DJ.
Yeah, DJ. I did DJing for Christian rap. We did. Me and my godfather, we had a Christian club. So I DJ for that. Did sound reinforcement for rap concerts that came to Kansas City. I did all that. One problem that I had was I was doing all this stuff, and I would see kids and see grown folks praising God, crying, all this kind of stuff. And it never hit me. As much as I prayed, as much as I did everything, it never hit me. Like it would hit me every once in a while, but it wouldn't like grab me.
You never got the Holy Ghost?
Not even just the Holy Ghost, just to, you know what I mean, feel it. Like the times that I would feel it because maybe I did some old stupid stuff. I got to repent. But just the joy of it, yeah, I lost it.
So, Essence, would you say the thing that turned you off from Christianity was it the stories, or was it the people inside the church that turned you off? What were the things that made you like just say, this ain't for me?
It was a combination of them all, honestly. Because I feel like if you say you're going to do something, then you do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't do it. I don't believe that, when the clock strikes 2:00 after you walk out the doors of church, that you should be physically abusive to people or verbally abusive to people or, perverse with sexuality. And that's, we know as humans, we'll explain it away as humans, that's a temptation. It's a sin. And so then you just kind of cleanse yourself every week, go back to church on Sunday and try it again. That just doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah, I get it. I'm trying to get myself back up in this stream because I don't know why I am, it's probably, see, I'm still frozen. It's probably them boys up there playing that damn game, taking up all my damn bandwidth on my internet.
Well, the thing is some of the stories in the Bible we were just discussing it. It was either this morning or yesterday morning that we were just talking about how Leviticus was saying, you know, when a woman has her menstrual cycle, that she's unclean and a man should not touch her, and anyone that touches her is unclean. And then they likened it to, what was it? Something perverse in there. And I'm like, well, you liken a perversion with a woman having a regular monthly menstrual cycle, which is supposed to be here for her to be fruitful.
No. A lot of things just didn't, for me lately, yeah, a lot of things is a big problem.
It's very contradictory, in my opinion.
Yeah. So.
Someone said you can't teach kids morality without the Bible. The Bible is not a moral end all be all.
Oh, okay.
Then scream forgiveness and judgment someone else. Do you guys?
I'm gonna hop in with you guys for a little bit. How you guys doing today?
What up? How you doing?
Good. So, name is Charles, one of the co-hosts and the producers while we get Constance back up. Just another general question for you. So, how did your parents handle the issue of marriage when that idea of atheism and religion came up? Like, what were some of the things that you guys had to deal with from that perspective?
We didn't have, I'm gonna tell y'all for
Well, wait, what'd you ask, girls?
I asked them how they dealt with their parents.
Okay, so let me break it down for you. My mom passed when I was 15. Okay. My grandmother was really into the church. Of course, my grandma never knew anything about her being, not a non-believer. So that never came up. My dad, he was fine. None of them had.
None of this was out.
Yeah, none of this was out. None of this was even talked about. And then on top of that, I'm not even gonna lie to you, we probably wouldn't have cared anyway.
Well, because to Constance's point, I'm Black. I'm a female. I'm from the Midwest. I'm supposed to believe in God, right? I grew up in a family full of, Christians. I went to church every Sunday from a little girl to the point where I could decide that I didn't want to and just kind of, it didn't come up. Yeah. But I told my mom 2 years ago, and she was appalled.
What did she say? How many heathens were you?
I think a lot. I think she questioned her, her child rearing. But
did she plead the blood of Jesus over you at that moment?
Almost. But here's the funny thing is my mom never went to church, right? I always attended church with my dad or my grandparents, my paternal grandparents. Mm-hmm. So I never went to church with my mom. So it was a surprise to me that she was, upset or disappointed with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it took a long time for me to come out or even be comfortable and confident to say to people that I don't believe. And now I'm just to the point where I'm okay with it.
I definitely, and just kind of to address one of the comments that was in the chat, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about that with regards to just the child rearing. Personally, I believe that it's very, very good, even if a child chooses Christianity, to choose it for the right reasons, right? So being that you guys have this kind of difference with religion, how are you helping them to connect with the religion of their choice outside of just allowing them to go? Like, do you guys actually talk about the different religions? You mentioned that they went to a Buddhist church. Are you guys educating about that kind of stuff? Are you guys going through the Bible and going through different things? Like, how do you have those constructive conversations with them to allow them to explore those different opportunities with regards to religion?
We have conversations, and that's as far as it goes. I don't push anything on them. Of course, she doesn't. If they ask me, I tell them, yes, I believe in God. And we'll kind of go over the dialogue of what the whole setup, how, the whole religion. But it's really, really up to them, because I can't push something that I'm half in or 25% in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But your problem isn't necessarily that you don't believe in God. Is it just the Bible?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But
Is it the issue with the church, or is it the issue with the Bible, or the issue of God? Like, where do you stand on each one of those topics?
God, I don't have an issue with God. Okay. I believe God. The church, Christianity, the Bible, I got a little bit of a problem with it. You know, then on top of that, on certain situations, certain things that I want to get out of and I prayed for, it didn't work.
Maybe you didn't pray hard enough.
Yeah, that's what everybody say. I don't care about that. Yeah, you tell me I ain't prayed hard enough, you weren't in my mind. So,
and that's the thing is that I think a lot of times I see that there is a great falling away from Christianity or religion as a whole in general, just because there is so much more information out there. You know, we have so much more. I seen something that I thought was very poignant. It said religion is regional. So if you're here, this is what you're going to worship. You probably might be a Christian, but if you're here, you may be a Buddhist. If you're here, you may be a Hindu. If you're here, you may be a Muslim. And so I think people are seeing that and their eyes are opening, because when it was introduced to us as African Americans, that's all we knew.
Yeah.
You know, it was beat into us, but that's all we knew. But on the same token, I can say for me, you know, the Bible, whether you are a believer or not, the Bible has some basic principles. And I'm a believer, so I'll put that out there. But the Bible has principles that we can all take, that we can all live by, that you just can't throw it away. Yeah, there might be some stories there that just don't add up, make sense, like what happened to Adam and Eve's kids and who did they marry, and you know, those types of things that just kind of don't connect. But if you go to Proverbs, or if you go to Ecclesiastics, or you go to things like that, there are principles in there. If you go to 1 Corinthians where it talks about love, there are principles there that we can really live by, and then we can hold on to. And then the things that Jesus taught are things that, you know, I still believe that, you know, we can hold on to no matter what we learn that's out there. But for you, Essence, when people say, I'm gonna pray for you, and I know, and you're so gracious when people say that, because I think we were talking the other day and my cousin said, oh Lord, she said something like, maybe I'm gonna pray. And you were like, okay, cool. Somebody in the comments said, don't pray for me, pray for yourself. And that's how I would look at, you know, somebody who's an atheist and somebody said, ooh, girl, I'm gonna pray for you, you know, and I would think their reaction would be like, don't pray for me, you know, don't. And so I love how you're so gracious, but how does that make you feel when people say that to you? Do they look at you like you're the boogeyman? Do they look at you like you're an anomaly? And does it make you feel kind of awkward or weird?
Yes. And that's why it took me so long to be honest, right? And I think it's just a form of respect. I feel like people that say that to me, they genuinely, in my head, they genuinely mean that. And they feel like they want to save me or my soul. Okay, so in my world, that's not a bad thing. If you can save me, right? I'm not going to be disrespectful and say, don't pray for me, pray for yourself, or, you know, work on your own demons. That's not my ministry.
And I think to your point, though, right? I think a lot of times what happens is that we get these indoctrinations one way or the other. And we really don't take time, one, to investigate what our religious beliefs are and why they are. And most often, especially when I'm looking at the comments and I'm hearing some people like, well, name a good atheist, I'll wait. Well, define define great.
Good atheist, yeah.
Right. But define great, because James Baldwin was atheist, and he, in my book, was a great man. So you have to really look at that and say, okay, you have to put parameters around that for yourself. And your belief system is definitely your belief system. What I don't like, and what I love that you guys are talking about, is just a lot of the indoctrination that happens on one side of the fence or the other. Just because a person, like the assumption that you're not a good person because you don't believe in God. That has absolutely nothing to do with your personality. It has absolutely nothing to do with your work ethic. It has absolutely nothing to do with how you raise your kids, or how you love your kids, or how you love your husband, or how you support your community. Those things are two very separate ideas, right? So to put somebody in a box because they don't believe the way that you believe is a very far-fetched and almost ignorant concept that people do. And more often than not, these are the type of things that you find in Christianity, which makes Christianity hard for people to swallow, right? Because you see this more on that side of the fence than you do in Islam or anything else. More often in Islam or the Islamic faith or even in the Buddhist faith, they're really not trying to convert you. They'll invite you over to an opportunity. And then after that, the choice is yours. Christianity is one of the only places where it's either my way or the highway. And you're everything but a child of God, literally, when you don't profess the name the way that they profess the name. And that's one of the things where I can understand, Brian, when you talk about you have this kind of love-hate relationship with the church. Well, I'm assuming that a lot of that is based on these concepts, right? Because what's being said, what's being fed in, and what's being told, the inconsistencies that you see in the church and the pastors and everybody else, and then some of the things that just don't make sense when you're trying to understand the Bible, right?
Yeah.
And so a lot of that happens and it comes out and then it's like, oh, well, wait a minute. And everybody thinks they got the answer. The truth is nobody has the answer. There's not one person on the face of this earth that has died, gone to heaven and came back and told us, hey, this is what it is. Yeah. So we're all living in from that perspective, right? You got to live your life the way that you got to live your life. And when you meet your maker at the end of the day, whatever that resolve is or whatever happens, that's between you and your maker, right? Because the same way people will tell you that you can't not be an atheist, the same people who will tell Muslims or Jews or anybody else that they can't be what they are, right?
Not only they say they can't be what they are, they say you're going to hell because of it.
Right. And who has that right?
The funny thing
about, right but God.
The funny thing about religion for me and what kind of got me away from the Christian religion, there's so many ethnicities and there's so many people that have different religions. Mm-hmm. Okay. So one thing that killed me when it came to religion is there's so many different ones when you get into the ethnicity part about it. But one thing everybody was trying to do was get to God. Okay. So the whole Christianity thing went out the window for me. Okay, that's why I was like, all right, cool. If I'm able to get to God, I'm cool. I don't need that bridge anymore. Okay, I think that's what got me. So the whole church and all that kind of stuff, it is it doesn't mesh well with me. But then on top of that, it's like, okay, cool. Let's go a little bit deeper for me. What did Egyptians, who did they praise? You know, when before Christ, you know, supposedly. Then I start reading about different things about the picture of Christ. Oh, well, now we got this white man, you know, just stark white man. That's for me, that's the biggest lie in the world. So if you're going to keep pushing that lie, what else is a lie? Well, I know pushing that lie. What else is a lie? You know,
I know that there was a documentary, and we talked about it last night on the show about the Black church, and one of the things that they were saying was that during slavery, because you know they forced the Bible upon us, they also took out parts of the Bible that talked about liberation, that talked about freedom. And so, yeah, you do see, even now, like you see different pieces, like back in the 1930s is when they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls and when they've added, you know, books to the Bible. So there are things that would make you question some of the what's in there. And then you talk about the Council of Nicaea. And are you familiar with the Council of Nicaea, Charles?
Very much so. Yes.
So explain that to our viewers.
So basically, it's the council in which they made the decision about what books would actually be going into what's considered the canon, right? So, you know, you have like the book of Thomas, you have the Revelations according to Peter, you have the book of Mary, you have the book of Enoch, you have all of these different books that weren't chosen as a part of the actual canon that was written to basically be the Bible, which is a very important, they call them the books of the Apocrypha, the books that are outside of the Bible, right? And so, but all of these decisions, by and large, were made during the Council of Nicaea. So that's part of that.
And the Council of Nicaea, just from my reading, it also was where, and he said the Jesus myth. I don't want to say the Jesus myth, but is where they determined, they had a vote about Jesus and who Jesus was,
Right.
in the grand scheme of the Bible. So some people said Jesus was the Savior. Some people said Jesus wasn't. And the majority ruled. So we're going to go with Jesus as a Savior, right?
Yeah, that was the other part of that. But it was also, when you do more of the research on it, it was also based in law. So that was also kind of the precipice for establishing law during that time as well. And that's one of the other interesting things about it too, because of the conflict of the church at that time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So when you have things like that, and because that information is accessible, then that also makes you say, well, what about these things? Again, I'm still a believer, but those things that now we have access to that we didn't have access to before, where our forefathers didn't have access to, because the only thing they had access to was what was given to us. You can make a more of an educated decision on what your belief system is. But the problem is in today's society that you will be judged for thinking outside the box. And again, I love Essence and I love Brian because they're both unapologetic about their beliefs. They're both so respectful of each other's beliefs. And you could have two Christians in the same household, or maybe even two Muslims or two people of the same faith in the same household that can't even agree on what the belief system is or how to raise their children, or, just some basic values. And then you have these two people who have two totally different beliefs. Now, I never said that Brian in here was a Christian. And I see your sister Chavez said, Brian, we knew about Essence, but wait a minute. This is my first. Did you see her comment, Brian?
Yeah, we did.
Well, what do you think about that? Your family didn't know that you where your belief system lied?
I mean, the belief system changed. We don't talk about it. We don't go to church. So
How do you feel about your family hearing this for the first time?
They'll be all right.
Brother, you uninvited to the barbecue.
I don't care. I got a barbecue grill with both sides on it.
I think
we ain't saving him no plates.
I think I think like everything else in life, right? As long as you respect the person, and we used to have conversations a lot, is he'd say, I don't understand where you're coming from. I don't need you to understand. All I'm asking you to do is respect it. So I think that's like everything else in the world. I can respect your political opinion. I can respect your religion. I can respect your sexuality. We can move right on along with this.
Yeah.
So would you be able to be married to Brian if he was a Trump supporter?
Yes.
She like Uncle Trump.
Uncle Trump gave me a few checks.
She don't like him.
But
she
I would like to have a conversation with someone genuinely to see where they're coming from with their support, right? Because in my head, I'm thinking you just a bigot, you're a racist, you want white power. How did you become a Trump supporter if you don't identify with any of the terms I just laid out?
Right.
So I think, sure.
Yeah.
He voted for Obama, and I was a Hillary fan.
But when she didn't make it to the primaries, then who did you vote for?
I voted for the black man.
Yeah, she came over.
Okay. I can dig it. Okay. I just wanted to know how deep this respect went, just because, is it only a religious thing? Is that not that important to you? I mean, political also, because I know if I had somebody that was a Trump supporter, I probably couldn't, because their core beliefs don't align with my core beliefs. I don't know that I could be married to somebody from the Islam faith, even though Islam is of peace. But, there's just some core things that are important to me that I don't know that it would jive with where I'm going. I don't know that I'd be able to be married to a Buddhist, or especially an atheist, because of my core beliefs, because I believe in, certain things. And I would be worried about their soul. Now, Charles, you jumping back on here. We enjoyed the conversation. You gonna come back on here, brother. He tried to get up off of there. Nah, you part of the program now, homie.
So Constance, so if you've known someone, right? If you were married for 30 years and your spouse finally he changed his mind. I no longer believe in the Bible. I no longer believe in God. What changed internally for you that this person is no longer, your soulmate?
That's probably different. Maybe me meeting somebody now, I don't know that I could go into a relationship with somebody who doesn't have the same core beliefs, but should that happen over time, just like with you and Brian, like you tricked Brian in the beginning to act like he was a Christian so that he would marry you and give you babies. At some point, if I was with somebody and we were both equally yoked, or we were both Christians and we still loved each other, and he decided that's not the direction he was in, then I would stay married. But there's some core fundamental things that would concern me as his wife.
Well, they're not, as long as they're not kicking puppies and shooting little babies. I feel like everyone is generally
Christians do that.
You know what? You know what, Brian?
Huh?
I said, you know what, Brian? This is what we're not gonna do up in here.
I feel like they're still genuinely good people, right?
Yeah.
They're not amoral, right? They still have morals. They're still loving, caring, society contributing people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you don't believe that there is an afterlife or a heaven or a hell, I don't know that makes you unequally yoked.
Right.
Charles, what do you think? Could you be married? Or what's your faith, Charles?
I'm a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Christian. I'm a little bit like Brian, not so much, in the sense that I have a problem with the church or with the gospel. I feel like I've studied enough to understand a little bit, and enough to understand that there's things that I align with and things that I don't, and then I just accept the things that I align with. I don't align with the fact that everybody outside of the 144,000 is going to hell.
That's Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, I don't align with the fact that if you're not Christian, you're going to hell.
Yes.
I don't know. That's my belief.
Yeah, that right there killed it for me, because it's like you have all these religions, and how do you know that your religion is the right one? Like if you are, in a different religion, oh, you're going to hell. Wait a minute, hold on. That don't make any sense.
So
that's why the whole religion thing kind of lost it for me. And I was like, if I'm gonna keep going, I just want to, that connection with God, because of religion, because there's so many, it seems like a joke to me.
And furthermore, for me, like I said, I'm not God. I don't make that decision. It's not my choice. It's not my reality, and it's really not my concern. My concern is my faith, what I do, and how I do it, right? And everything else is, for the person who believes what they believe in. So I don't really concern myself a whole lot with the next man's faith. The same way I can't concern myself with the next man's walk, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a Christian don't mean I'm going to heaven either, right? Especially if I got some hellish ways. So, I'm more of, let me worry about myself and my own salvation before I start trying to talk about somebody else and what they are and what they're not going to do.
Yeah.
That's just my belief system in that. But I also believe that the Bible says to study to show yourself approved, right? Unless you've done the work to do so, then you really can't say that you know enough to even make those kind of statements. And when we're talking about study, we talk about study. We're talking about exegeting text. We're talking about really understanding the context and the foundation of that text, when it happened, why it happened, what changed. We're talking about learning things even outside of the canon, right? Get really, really familiar with everything, so that way you can make a good decision. Yeah. I've seen some of the people in here talk about the Jesus is a reflection of the sun. And if you look in Egyptian studies, or if you know anything about Mithra or Dionysus or any of these other
Isis,
they praise the sun god.
Yeah, there are definitely similarities. But I will say this to your question, Constance. after doing all the research and kind of just learning as much as I learned, that's when I made my decision for Christianity. It was a choice for me, and it wasn't something that I did because everybody else is doing it, or because mom said do it, or because dad said do it. I felt like for me, I needed something to ground and have a foundation for my faith, right? So that's what I chose.
Right.
Now, with that same respect, I could have chose anything else, right? But for me, this is the one thing that I chose. And so that's how I get my prayers through. That's how I get my faith, rooted and grounded in something long enough and strong enough for me to be able to manifest things, right? We are just now getting to an age. The Bible's been talking about meditation. Meditation has just become a thing in the Christian world, right? It's like it's now okay to meditate in the 2000s. 1960, you were going to hell if you were meditating. Right? So, I mean, I think
I was taught this growing up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah. There's definitely those things.
Yeah, I've never heard about that. Maybe I was at a different Christian church. They didn't meditate though. No.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about just all the different layers to faith and to Christianity and to just religion in general. You learn different dynamics, and I think because we're so far into the age of information now, we can't share the same perspective that we had on Christianity that we did a long time ago. For example, we don't think the same thing of the world, just the universe in general, as we did in 1960, 1950, even 1970s. Everything is changed. So why wouldn't your perspective on your faith not change? And that's a real question, right? Like, so you've learned more.
Unwavering.
Yeah, you have to be like this. You'd really have to be like this. Yeah. Not have to have, to have the same perspective that you had 10, 15, 20 years ago. And like just close your eyes to everything.
Yeah, you would be a slave still to this day if you didn't change the mentality about what the Bible said about who you were and who you weren't, right? So why shouldn't it continue to grow?
Right.
It's living document.
See, the Bible didn't change. So the stories in the Bible didn't change. So
I think what changes the world around the Bible, the understanding that we have of those stories, the understanding that we have of those situations, the understanding that we have of the canon now. Before it was just straightforward, this is what the Bible says, and then you put your own interpretation in it. As the world evolved and we got a little bit smarter, we started to understand and see from a little bit of a different lens. Well, wait a minute, this has a little bit more ambiguity to it than what I originally thought. And we have to investigate that.
And that's where some of my conflict comes in, right? Is the ambiguity and some of the fallacies in the Bible.
So for you, Charles, so I know you said at the end of the day, you are a believer. Would your wife have to be a believer also?
No, not necessarily.
If you're a good person.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think there's so many more things to consider than that. Like my faith is mine, and your faith is yours. How we engage in faith together, we can explore that. Like I said, there's just a million and one things that you can do. We can even talk about, the differences in our faith and how they led us to who we are today. So all of those things are relevant and present in my thoughts. So I wouldn't say that you have to be a Christian to be my wife. No.
So Brian, for you, so it doesn't sound like you're a Christian. Are you? Would you say that you are more spiritual?
Yeah.
So you wouldn't call yourself a Christian?
No.
But you are a believer of something. You believe that there is a higher power. You don't believe in Jesus?
The Jesus thing has been slowly getting away from me. It's like what's that? The hourglass. That sand is really it's down.
Why?
It stems from racism. Okay, just like I told you before, white Jesus, what was there? And then it was some that I had read a while ago where they came up with what Jesus looked like. I mean, where white people actually got him to, they mirrored their person off of, Jesus off of. That kind of messed it up for me because it was pushed down my throat. He was white.
But
I think the basis of it has been racism that has messed up the whole connection with Jesus.
You're talking about the more superficial things about Jesus, though. You're not talking about you're not talking about his teachings. Like that's just like me going and saying, Jesus is Chinese, and because I said he's Chinese, then he's Chinese. But it doesn't take away from who he is or who he was when he walked this earth. So do you not believe believe in who he was when he walked this earth?
That's slowly going away. I apologize. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm losing that. And I'm going to go back to what I said before. Every ethnicity has a religion that they praise, not just Jesus. Mm-hmm. And for me, everybody else except Christianity, is everybody else wrong and everybody else going to hell? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So for me, the whole Jesus thing and the Buddhas and all that kind of stuff, X me with all that. I'm going right to God.
So were they at least prophets?
Possibly. And that might have been just like somebody said, Jesus is the bridge. Oh, well, okay, thank you. Thank you, Jesus, for getting me over that bridge. I'm with God right now. I'm gonna talk to him.
And it's kind of like even with the church, because here's the thing too that I know is that the church and religion was used to control.
Yeah.
For hundreds and hundreds of years, it was used as a control mechanism, even before slavery. The Catholicism was used to, control people over in Europe. It was used to keep the people in power so that the oppressed could stay oppressed and they could not fight the structures of the power that be. So with that being said, though, it's manipulated a lot and it's perverted a lot about the true intention of what your spirituality is supposed to be like. I don't need a preacher or I don't need a priest to go to God on my behalf. I get that. I don't need nobody interceding for me. I can intercede on my own. I can pray for myself. I solicit and welcome all the prayers that I can get. If you say one of the things when people say I'm praying for you, Constance, that's like the best thing in the world that you could do. Pray for me. If you said that's a compliment. That's like you just gave me $50 in my bank. Thank you. Pray for me. Continue to pray for me. But I don't need anybody to pray for me because I can pray for myself. I believe that I have a connection with him. And so I get that. I get what you're saying because it has been used as a form of, control. For me, though, it doesn't make it any less important or real because of it. You know what I mean?
One thing that's kind of crazy, I just seen a comment. He said, he seems like he's losing his faith and she's gaining a non-believer. You're not listening.
Okay.
Somebody said, if I'm telling you that I believe in God, I just don't have to believe in Jesus. That's not me saying that I'm a non-believer. Listen to what I said is I believe in God.
But not the Bible.
Yeah, I don't have to believe in the Bible to believe in God. Mm-hmm. So it's not that she's gaining a non-believer. Oh my God, no, she believes what she believes. I believe what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just want to make that clear. Yes, I still believe in God. Yes, the whole Christianity, the whole bridge. I guess I'm looking at it as I don't need it no more.
Well,
listen, man, at the end of the day, that's your cross to bear one way or the other. You know what I mean? And I applaud you for standing strong on your square and for believing what you believe and standing up for what you believe in and allowing it to still maintain fruitfulness in your life. Because at the end of the day, we could talk all we want to, as Dr. Frazier would say, we can pontificate ad nauseum about religion, right? And people on the sidelines can pontificate ad nauseum about it. But at the end of the day, faith is like boxing. It's like track. You know, it's a one-man sport. You know, that's what your deal is between you and God.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, what my job is, you know, hey, we're not in the business because I can't bring you to heaven or hell with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a solo ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So you either gonna get there, you know, the way you believe in, or you not.
Mm-hmm.
And that, you know, that's for you to figure out. And I think we got to get to that place too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take the religion away from the man and accept the people for who they are.
Right.
You know, and start to do good by people. You know, don't. And if your faith is driving your treatment of people, then shame on you, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Absolutely.
And that's how we build relationships with people, either in loving relationships or in friendships or whatever. We don't look at all the things that surround them. We don't look at what the world says about them. We look at them for who they are and what their relationship to you or what their benefit to your life can be.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how you can make your judgments. In my opinion.
But I also agree with you, Charles. I think at the end of the day, and I for those who are just logging on, because I'm seeing people coming in the room. This is a dialogue that we're having, and every time we come on here, we want to make sure that you are engaging with us, and we have a lot of comments and a lot of very strong opinions. When you talk about religion, it's a it's a personal thing, but a lot of people have really great opinions on it. And one of the things that I see a lot is there's a lot of judgment that's being placed on people, saying, you know, people don't know the truth. There's, like I said about you, Essence, when you have atheists, like there's a lot of atheists on here in the comments that are so negative towards Christianity. And I haven't heard you say anything like super negative. You were just saying this doesn't jive with me, but you didn't bash it. And there are a lot of people that are in that space, they bash it. And so if you could just have a respectful conversation about this is what I believe, this is what you believe, I think it will make the world a much better place. You know what I mean? And so the thing that I get from you guys, the thing that I love about you guys, again, these are my personal friends. Everybody on here, we're all friends. We all kick it. The thing I love about you guys is you guys could have your different beliefs. No, Brian said, I'm not losing my faith. I'm not an atheist. I still believe what I believe. But I love the fact that they respect one another enough to allow them to sit in their beliefs without judgment. And, hey, listen, if you feel like she gonna go to hell, Brian, pray for her. You never know. God could work miracles. I know at the end of the day, if that's really your belief system and that's your wife and you love her, then I'm sure that you don't want her to go to hell if this is what you believe in. But she said, go on Clubhouse. Yeah, I'm on Clubhouse. I actually got 6 invitations if anybody wants a Clubhouse invitation. But anyway, but I just think that, the thing that I get out of this, and again, if you just logging on, Essence told me in this room when we were over to my house for a dinner party or something that she wasn't a believer. And I about damn near fainted because I don't know any Black women who don't believe. Now, there might be some in the feed, but I don't personally know any Black women who don't believe. So I was just like so stricken. And the cool thing is we have really intelligent friends, so we're able to just kind of go through, the intellectual conversations. You have, Vaughn and them who have a different belief system. They believe in something, but they're not necessarily Christians. And so we have those dialogues all the time, and we have different perspectives. But just in having this conversation with you guys and just hearing that, it was like, I've known her for years. I felt betrayed. I felt shocked. I felt like you just made me naked in front of everybody. Like, who is she? Where does she come from? I don't know this woman. Oh my gosh, she's really an atheist. But she's never been disrespectful, like a lot of the people here are, right? She's never talked down on Christianity or any other religions. People say, I'm gonna pray for you, Essence. She's like, she welcomes it. She's like, I'm praying for me. She welcomes that. So that's what's going to keep them married. That's what's going to sustain their relationship. Outside of, any whole tendencies either of them might have. And, if y'all have side pieces on the other side, that might corrupt your marriage, but your religion is not going to do it, or your lack thereof is not going to do it. And that's what's going to sustain your relationship and make you guys last forever. You guys have 3 beautiful daughters that are very well-rounded. They are good girls. And, listen, it is what it is. Nobody can judge you. This is your journey. This is your belief system.
You know what? Everybody can judge me. And that's okay. Because,
I just got to care.
I think,
and I don't.
I think I also support him in his religion, right? Mm-hmm. And just like I supported my daughters when they wanted to explore different churches, because it's not for me doesn't mean that it's not for them.
If my daughter was like, "Hey, I'm about to go to church and start praying. Start being a pastor or what, handle your business. I'll come support you."
Yeah,
it is what it is. My daughter told me she didn't believe. I asked her why, but I'd be like, "Oh, you tripping? Oh, you're lost." Shit. I didn't bash her. The funny thing about a lot of Christians and a lot of religious people, if they don't understand something or is not aligned with them, they come out shooting. Mm-hmm. And we can see that in the comment section. They come out shooting. Mm-hmm. And that's the funny thing about religion. Once you're not on the same page as me, you're dead to me. That is crazy.
Right.
I don't know that I would even align that with Christianity. I don't know that I would.
Well, not even just the.
Well,
the
wait. I feel like that's not even necessarily aligned with Christianity. I feel that's just aligned with character defaults.
True.
Right. I don't know that it's Christianity that makes you say, essence, you're a bad person because you don't believe in God. They may not be as strong in their faith and just not as strong to stand up and say that they're not because they don't want to be in the same position as me. Mm-hmm. That's okay.
At the end of the day, it's just about respect, y'all.
I think
it's
so.
about respect. And if you can respect somebody where they're coming from and really have respect for them, it don't even matter. So just like you said, Charles, your walk is your walk. At the end of my life, I am going to be judged for myself. Yep. Nobody's going to be there on Judgment Day with me. So I just really listen. I'm gonna introduce you to what I have. I'm gonna share with you as much as I can. But if this is not what you want, this is on you. And you just have to continue to live your life and continue to respect. So anyway, you guys, thank you guys for coming on tonight. This has been
Merry
good.
Christmas.
Woo, y'all. And you know what? Prayers to your daughter. I know you said she had some medical challenges. So
pray for her, please, y'all.
That you want to pray for, right, y'all? That you want to pray for.
Yes, she did. That was
2 days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. So she's home now, but we got a little bit more work that we have to find out about on Friday. So.
Okay. And I'm definitely praying for her. And so you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, this is always a great dialogue. I'm here every night, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, always talking about things that concern our community, whether it's health, wealth, love, all the things that could fortify and edify our community. That's what we're talking about. And listen, check this out, you guys. I am for all of you business owners, for people who are looking to get in business, who have their own businesses, who want to scale their business. I am doing a boot camp. It's called the Mind Your Biz Boot Camp. And I'm teaching you systems. I'm teaching you how to grow your business, how to create a great value proposition, how to set the foundation for your business, and how to get business funding. So go to Mind Your Biz Boot Camp, and that's MindYabiz bootcamp.com. And I've been talking about it for a few weeks, and so I'm finally got the page up, and it's going to be in the next 40 days. So you guys have an opportunity to sign up for that. And I want to really help as many business owners be millionaires as possible. So make sure that you guys sign up for it. And again, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming out and hanging out with us again. As always, we'll be back tomorrow night.
Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Want to change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to impact your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all.